What do you ask the vending machine for a cup of the pestilence? The pestilence, if it exists, which I don't even believe it exists, is some kind of disease. It's a molecule. Just like you don't ask for a cup of the common cold, I doubt you could ask for a cup of the pestilence in the same way. That is, even if it exists, which I'm still iffy about. Would the cordyceps from The Last of Us cause a world-ending event? Well, they seem to in that universe, so that would be my first guess. But were that to happen in a world with a proper SCP Foundation, I'm sure we could have solved this. I mean, we do in fact contain SCP-008, a literal zombie virus. So we've got a pretty good eye on things when it comes to that kind of containment structure. I don't think we have to worry about much. Why don't we drop SCP-173 into SCP-5007? Well, remember, 173 is a statue, so it's made of crowbar. It's made of rebar and concrete, not flesh. So that won't affect it. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna have very much of an effect, but good thought exercise. No idea why other Foundation staff are so terrified of living above 40 degrees north in a snowy rural village. Seriously, there's nothing to worry about. Dude. Not all of us are trained soldiers chasing after the Yule Man for some reason. Some of us are nerdy little scientists who like to stay in our office and not deal with life-ending threats. So, with that in mind, no thank you, you have fun up there. I know this was probably said before, but was anything ever classified as an anomaly, but due to some circumstance it was allowed to be declassified and discovered by the public? That is a great question, and what you are interested in are what we call the -EXs. -EX is for explained SCPs, which are things we thought were anomalous, but then turned out to not be anomalous. And for some of those, it's because it was like a fraudulent entry that someone was trying to scam something. And some of it is that we thought it was anomalous, but we discovered it wasn't. And so you should check out the .exs because there's a lot of stuff like that you're going to be interested in. There should be a cross test between 542 and 049. Long story short, because 542 is in fact dead, I believe it would not be terrible to allow it to test with 049. Oh, it does do murder a lot. In that being the case, maybe I don't want 542 testing with 049. That actually seems more dangerous. At least 049 is ostensibly trying to not do murder. But it seems like 542 is just up for murder. Don't need that drama in my life. Nope. What would happen if you hugged 096? Well, as long as you don't look at its face, it would just sit there crying in your arms, which, if you're the caregiver type, might be a thing you're into, I don't know. But if you accidentally peeked at its face, you're donezo, so be careful. Do non-sentient animals affect 173, and if so, would an aquarium full of fish be an effective way of containing it? I don't remember testing this on the database proper, but a lot of people hypothesize that animals may be able to hold 173 still. But the thing is, an animal, even if an animal can hold SCP-173 still, you're going to have to battle with the fact that the animals probably aren't smart enough to keep looking at it. And so, it's possible that as soon as they get distracted and look away, they're going to get snapped, or at least 173 is going to leave if it doesn't want to harm animals. That's my idea here. What if 096 got a facial transplant so it wouldn't have its effect anymore? It would still have its effect because it would still know what its face looked like. And it wouldn't be the new face, it would be the old face. It's not gonna adopt a new face and a new phobia. It's got the old face. Counterpoint, Clef can murder, but only if someone tries to steal 999. Well, we're allowed to do a lot of things when anomalies are trying to be stolen, but murder, again, is a last resort, because if we murder them, we can't interrogate them or make them suffer. Have you tried trash TV to make the tree scream? You know what? It did get rather choked up at certain intervals of shows. We've seen the tree weep, but weep is not screaming. So we're still working on it. What would you classify a kind of mirror that mimics instead of reflecting? Well, if it's just an anomalous mirror, if it doesn't go anywhere, if it doesn't spit out anything that can like break containment, then you're dealing with a safe class anomaly. But if it can do things like mimic you and like take you into the mirror and pull itself out so that a clone of you is in public, and that clone can try and escape, well, that becomes a Euclid, because now we can't just put a... Well, we probably could still just put a curtain over it and call it contained. The issue would only be if the mirror itself breached containment. So probably safe. An anomalous mirror will likely be safe unless there's something specific that makes it more difficult to contain. Do you think that Scranton reality anchors could be used to close no-clip areas into the back rooms? Yes, they could, but they're too unwieldy. They're giant. They are like old school supercomputers. They're huge. And so we can't set them up on a whim. And in that case, there's so many different entrances that we have to close more than we can keep up with. So yes, they would work, but it's not good resource-wise. Would it be possible to kill 4419 with 096? 4419 is a ambulance who steals people and messes them up real bad. As we know, 096 is the shy guy. I don't feel like there's really any interaction between an anomalous ambulance and seeing a face. I don't know that a ambulance can see a face. So I don't think we're going to get much of a reaction from that combination of anomalies. What would happen if 049 actually found a cure to the pestilence? Also love your videos and love SCP lore. Well, thank you for loving our work. We love to educate the public about the Foundation. And I assume if 049 found the cure to the pestilence, then it would chill out. It would chill out finally, because, gosh, there's so much over there. It's so much. And I would love to solve this mystery so 049 could stop murdering people and turning them into zombies and stealing the gender switching stone and annoying me. So yes, 049, I would love if the pestilence was found. We're just not there yet. How to not recognize the bodies besides not looking at them? Well, the cognitive resistance value is your big key here. You need to train your brain to hold reality in your head and to not let the anomalies in. That's thing one. Thing two would then, of course, be chanting the mantra, answering the questions on the test properly, because if you answer the questions properly, it means you probably don't recognize the bodies, because you wouldn't be saying that you're recognizing the bodies. You're saying that you don't recognize the bodies. So it's all about mental training. It's mind over matter over anomaly. That's how it goes. Dr. Sherman, there's one character in all of video games that can wipe the floor with the Scarlet King, Doom Guy. Possible. I'll give that a possible, because Doom Guy is overarching, I get angrier, I get madder, Incredible Hulk style. And Scarlet King in Foundation lore never goes to any sort of meta level where they're talking about it being in a story. And that means to me that if you have to have a straight fight against Doom Guy and the Scarlet King, I think with proper ramping up, the Scarlet King as a final boss could be a Doom villain that could be beat. I mean, remember that in Foundation lore, the Scarlet King was defeated by 7 very strong, anomalous, adjacent people wielding anomalous weapons. If you look at my Scarlet King Declassified video from way back in the day, then I talk about that story and you can look it up. If the Backrooms was anomalous, what rank would it get? The Backrooms is definitely a Keter anomaly because we can't contain it. We don't know when people are going to fall into the Backrooms by accident. And so at that point, it is uncontainable, which means it is either Keter, if that's as high as your rankings go, or there's some other uncontained or other object classes that people might call it. Thank you for listening. Site42 Studios and its staff are funded by viewers like you. Please become a patron or visit our merch store at the link in our bio to support our work. Secure, contain, protect.